Let's recording. All right, so we're just going to do a little housekeeping here first and foremost. Wanted to welcome everyone to the team here. So we had Eva Hanault, who was sponsored by Debbie Barrows, Cassie Navarro, who was sponsored by Amy Martin, Marjorie Yannetti, who was sponsored by Amy, Michelle Crook, who was sponsored by Nicole Bryan, Colleen Klein, sponsored by Sue Moulton, Stacey Saunders, sponsored by Sue. Sue, you're on a roll this month. Well, last month.
Finally. Finally.
I know, I need that mojo. Rhonda Viss, sponsored by Sue, and Linda Moody, who was sponsored by Carrie Savine. Number one recruiter in the is Director Melissa Lane with 4 personal recruits and 3 team recruits. Number 2 is Advanced Director Sue Moulton with 3 personal recruits and 1 team recruit. And Advanced Director Allison Pagoni with 2 personal and 3 team recruits. Yay, everyone. Let me just double check and make sure that there's no one else in the waiting room here. Is there anyone? Doesn't look it. Okay, so October's top performers in Randy's personal team. Number 1 was Terry. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name, Terry, because I'm probably going to botch it. With 2861, Lori Sweet with 1404, Leslie Mink with 1335, Kate Perlman with 1312, Leanne Willette with 1141, and number 6 was Michelle Merritt with 1001. Top sellers in my downline were Rose Diaz with 2118 and Lisa Yokel with 157. Top P3 director team sales were Amye Johnson, 25,533. Amazing. Number 2 was Karen Batty with 7,448. Number 3 was Jennifer Anderson with 4,002. Number 4 was myself with 2716, and number 5 was Sue Moulton with 1659. All right, so overall personal team sales were 19,667. Overall team sales were 199,349. 2 P3 team recruits, and overall team recruits was 37. Amazing. And Randy wants to thank Amy for doing this training tonight with us. She hopes everyone learns and listens to what Amy has to say so you can help build your own business. And what we'll do is we'll do question and answers after. We'll save that till the end. Let me just make sure there's no one else in the waiting room here quick before we get started. Nope. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everyone, and then I'm going to unmute you, Amy, and then we'll go from there. And then we'll let Amy tell us how she pulls this off every month. I wish I could have those kind of sales every month like you do.
You can.
Oh, I know I can. It's just it's just chaos. But I have my handy dandy notepad here. I hope everyone else does too. So take it away, Amy.
All right. So if you don't have something to write with, grab something, just because I will tell you, there's probably a couple things you might want to write down. And actually writing with pen and pencil will help you retain it better, says the former teacher. Some of you know me, some of you don't. It's nice to see everybody. I'm super honored to be asked to be here. So I really appreciate Randy asking me. That's so nice. And maybe I'll come hang out with you guys some more now that I know when your meetings are. So I know this is like the big question lately, table or Facebook. I only do parties on Facebook. And I will tell you now, I do see in a lot of the party groups, a lot of whining about, oh, Facebook did this, Facebook did that. I don't whine. I just learn how to play Facebook's game. That's what I do. When they change, I change. One tip I did learn a while back is that Facebook drops code on Tuesdays. So when stuff looks wacky on Facebook, it's usually a Tuesday. You wait till Wednesday and it fixes, or we figure a way around it. But I have never just said, oh, I can't do this. And I've just learned how to adapt with Facebook's rules. So I did try Table. I have tried Table. I did not find success with it. And as we were saying earlier, if it ain't broke, Facebook's been working for me, so that's what I'm doing. My question to you is, if you want different results, are you willing to change what you're doing? Or are your heels so stuck and drove in that you're not going to change, and you're going to say, wow, I wish I could have this be different, but I'm not going to change what I'm doing? Because that's what you have to do. You have to change what you're doing if you want different results. So how many of you would like to have more bookings on your calendar? Just raise your hand. Okay. Randy asked me to talk about bookings. I am very consistent at getting bookings from my parties, and I don't really have to go scout around and restart, because I'm consistently getting them from my parties. And I'll tell you about how I do that in a little bit, because I do have a method that works really well, and I think you probably would like to give it a shot. Mine also come from old customers, because I've been around for 16 years. So I do have a customer base that's built up. So some of you may be brand new, and that's not something that you'll have, but with some good customer care, you will get that. And this is the time of year when those customers come back and they're like, hey, can I do a party? Like, yeah, of course you can. And with the host specials we have this month and next month and January and probably February, it's a pretty enticing time for that. Plus, this is our best season. Everybody who's been here for more than a year knows that fall is it. And then I have repeat hosts. Now, I do not, right now, I do not schedule my host's next party when I close her party, but I do check in with them on a regular basis. I have a system set up for that. Confession time, I'm not the best at customer care, but I'm super good at host care. Like, I really take good care of my hosts. And I check in with them 4 weeks after the party, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. So I'm always touching them, making sure they don't forget who I am, where to find me. And a lot of times when I do say, hey, I'm just checking in to make sure you're still loving your stuff. Here's my new favorite fall recipe. They're like, oh, I want to join their party. Okay, fine. Of course you do. So we're going to talk about getting bookings from parties in a minute. But if you're starting from scratch, like you got nothing on your calendar, you need to fill some holes. You've got a couple avenues open to you. If you have a customer base already, you can reach out to those people and just say, like, you may have to just be really raw and honest and say, hey, I need some help. Or you could spend a little bit of time revising your show, which I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. You may go to those people and say, I've got a new show. I need some guinea pigs to help test it out. I'd love your feedback, and I give you some free stuff. So that's another way. If you don't know where to start, you don't have a customer base to reach out to, I suggest getting into your Facebook a little bit. Those of you who have heard me talk before know this is the same stuff I've said before. You have to be active on Facebook to get activity back. And you can't just be active like paper chef, because people get sick of that crap. But you got to be real. So you've got to ask some questions that people want to answer. So for example, and people really, really, really like to give their opinion and talk about themselves. So you need to ask things that give them the opportunity to do that. So if you are not active on your Facebook, this is just an idea of how to get there. You might ask somebody like, what are you guys getting your husband for Christmas? Or what's the best Christmas gift you ever got? Or who found some great deals on Amazon? Just something where people can say back to you anything. And in addition to that, you need to spend about 5 minutes just cruising through your Facebook and commenting more than 4 words on other people's stuff, because that'll start to show your stuff to them. So this is not, you're not saying anything about Pampered Chef. You're just trying to get some activity back. That'll give you the opportunity to talk to some people. Yeah, because you really want to make sure that you're being seen not in the same places that you have been seen. So hopefully that will get you in front of some new faces, and you can talk to some new people, maybe revise your show, and all of that. But the biggest thing is, no matter who you're talking to, whether it's a guest in your party or someone on Facebook, they have to want full print to party with you, which is very specific. And that's going to start with a few things. It's going to start with your personal presence, your professionalism, and your show outline. Okay, so your personal presence on Facebook. If you are going to do business on Facebook, you have to take a really hard look at how you present yourself on Facebook. Are you on there like shouting out political stuff all over the place? Because that's what, yesterday was and today, big political day. Not that you can't have your opinions, but if you're going to do your business on Facebook, you might want to quiet that down a little bit, because you're going to alienate one half or the other, depending on where you are. Doesn't mean you can't have those opinions, doesn't mean you can't have those discussions, but you have to be mindful of how you present it. Are you somebody who shares a lot of memes with curse words? Like, I never do that, because I live in the South and we don't do that here. So you just have to watch how you come across. If somebody was to creep your profile, what do you look like to them? If you go creep my profile, you know what I look like? I look like the person who shares funny memes. That's it. Like, that's, and you will be hard pressed to find something offensive or divisive on my Facebook, unless it's about coconut in food that I could get divisive about. But so you want to make your personal presence on Facebook fun. I mean, your guests and hosts, especially your hosts, are going to see you outside of the party. So you got to make it sure that you're somebody that wants to be seen, that you want to put that out there. Your professionalism comes into place. Are you using the correct names for products? That may not seem like a big deal, but I can't tell you how crazy it used to make me when people would call the now pizza stone a pizza stone when it was the large round stone. And there is a reason for that, because you may want to write this down and repeat it to yourself every morning in the mirror when you put your lipstick on. You are a professional business person with a valuable service to offer. If you want to treat this gig as a side gig, as a hobby, that's how it's going to pay you. If you want to treat it like a business, it will pay you like a business. So I do not call things by the wrong name. I don't misspell things. I don't talk derogatory about our products. There are products I don't like. Don't get me started on the baking soda holder that we used to have. Those of you who remember, you remember. But I would never spit that out and broadcast it. If somebody asked me honestly what I thought, I would say, honestly, this is my opinion on it, but I would never put that out there. So I think that's very important. You will never see me, no matter how tough my month is, on Facebook going, I need 3 more people to buy a brownie pan and holding up a little piece of paper. I never do that. If I can't handle my business, that's on me. It's not on my friends to rush in and buy stuff at the last minute. So, and I'm sorry if that breaks anybody's heart, I'm just being real. When people come to do business with Amy, they know that I view this as a job and I am acting in a professional manner. And I think that's really important. When you elevate the way that you consider this, you're going to operate in a different way. You're going to organize your time in a different way, and you will see better results, I promise you. The third thing that I think is really important that makes people want to party with you is if you have a good show outline. Okay. And what constitutes that is your show, first of all, the biggest thing is it fun? Is it something that people want to participate in? If I said to you right now, and we're all pampered chef people, okay, so we can say this, and I'm not throwing snark, and I don't mean anything, but if I said to you, come with me to my girlfriend's house, she's going to have a Mary Kay party, we're going to get makeovers. How many of you want to go sit and listen to how different moisturizers work on your face? Does anybody want to do that? How many of you want to go and listen? How many of your customers want to go listen to the difference between a garlic press and a garlic smasher? They don't. Okay, they want to know, can I use it in my kitchen? Is it going to make my life easier? How much does it cost? And then they also want to tell you which 80s movie they like the best. Okay, and I'm not even joking about that. That is completely serious. You've got to keep the element of fun in your parties. And this goes back to people like to talk about themselves and they want to share their opinions. So you have to ask that in your parties. You've got to have some fun in your parties, and it doesn't all have to be Pampered Chef related. The fun can be other stuff, but you've got to have fun. Is it engaging? And that fun and engaging are not the same thing. Fun is fun. Engaging means, does it give your customers the opportunity to answer and express themselves? Okay, so there's a difference in saying, which of these 4 products would you like, A, B, C, or D? Because what does your customer answer? They answer A, B, C, or D. That's not engaging, okay? Asking your customers, what are you making for dinner tonight? That gives them a chance to answer, because this one's going to say, I'm making pecan crusted tilapia. And then this one's going to say Kraft Blue Box, okay? And then they're going to laugh at each other. That's engaging when they have the opportunity to express themselves. Customers want that. They need that. So you've got to have that in your party. Another thing that I think is very important is to have professional graphics. So am I allowed to share my screen, Tara?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me give you control. Hold on.
Okay. Because I wanted to show you guys something. And it may, this